well, it's time to put the 240 under the knife, since unfortunately we popped the head gasket. So I'm going to be tearing this thing apart. I got to yank the head and inspect and make sure everything's good. Got the spark plugs out, but they are still just as perfect as when I put them in, so they're great. Well, I'm going to quickly just start taking all this stuff apart. We built the car in a way that everything is super accessible, so I can pull my freaking grill off here and basically just pull the whole car apart. This is like a freaking 20-minute job. So I'm gonna yank this off, we're gonna inspect, and then if everything looks good, throw a new head gasket in. Head gasket's already on the way. And yeah, I have not had these caps off in 5 years. Dude, this engine still looks so perfect. Isn't it crazy? I freaking rushed this thing together to get this car to David Patterson for a review. Well, it deserves to have a nice retorque and everything, so I can't wait to get this head gasket out and check it over and see what's going on with it. Well, guys, that's not good. And that's not good at all. Damn. Alright, so my cylinder head is right there. I have got one of my new cylinder heads. I went through the whole process and everything already. I even have it resurfaced. Everything is in spec and situated. I just went through the whole process to make sure my buckets and everything are in spec, so the buckets are good. I had to grind a couple of them to get them down to where I want them to be, so 10,000s and 8,000s. So yeah, I am ready to put the cylinder head on. This has been a freaking process. Just, man, it's just really freaking sucks. I mean, look, the head gasket blew out, and it was so hot that it started to try to melt my wiring. Thankfully, it didn't melt the wiring, but it did hurt my shielding, which sucks because I spent so much freaking time making it pretty. Did the same thing with my coil harness. So, about to set the cylinder head on here, and we're just going to get this thing just back up. I mean, this is pretty straightforward and easy at this point. So, yeah, I also discovered that we're starting to slightly leak here on the front main, which I am not entirely certain if... I don't know why it's doing that. It has not leaked at all. So I'll be pulling that off and putting a new seal in there just because we're down this far. Might as well do it. And so, yeah. Also, I broke my thumb. Should be wearing my splint right now, but I'm not. But, yeah. I broke it via crushing. Love it. Alright, so we've had quite the skip. This is going to be an odd one. So, the cylinder head, I melted it, right? Okay, so I melted the cylinder head, and then I had a second cylinder head, which I had on the shelf. It's actually still over there on the shelf. I'm going to throw it away. And so it was originally on this green Lexus here, and I was daily driving this green Lexus last year, and it overheated and blew the head gasket. And I guess the head just did not want to live anymore because I went and had the head resurfaced, lapped the valves and everything, put the head on this car after it was resurfaced, and there was still no compression. Absolutely none at all, and really sucked. I had to take the head back off, and then I bought this cylinder head from a local guy, had it planed, new valves and everything. This head is like spotless. It's beautiful. I had it, the equivalent of an aluminum or the block hot tank. It's for aluminum, so it was a hot bath but for aluminum, and this head came out spotless. This car hits harder than it ever has before, and I will admit that the head that I had on here before, I did not work as hard on it as I should have back in the day. So on this one, I spent a lot of time lapping the valves, making sure they were all good, and yeah, so they're perfect. All right, so this car hits harder than it ever has. She sounds really good. It actually is probably making more compression than before, but the tune is completely changed. So now I had to retune it for the idle, and we still have to go drive it and everything to get it all going again. But she's running again, and we're not going to have that mishap again. We are not at all. So, what happened after some investigating? Went and looked at the old log that I pulled, because I have a data logger now that logs every single time I turn the key on, and then it saves to an SD card where I can pull the SD card out and then put it on the laptop and check the log to see what's going on with the car. And, well, on further inspection, it would appear that I lost pressure into that pool racing the bike. So what happened was I lost a fuel pump. The other fuel pump was working, but I lost a pump, and the one pump could not supply even relatively the amount of fuel that this turbo needed at 40 pounds of boost. So what happened is, here we go, ramping up 38 pounds of boost, lost the fuel pump, and then lean spiked, and it actually just straight blew out the back of the head. Like, the head gasket, actually, where the heck is the head gasket? Is it over here somewhere? There it is. So here's the head gasket. The head gasket, yeah, so it straight blew the head gasket out the back of the head. And these head gaskets are no joke. If you guys are not aware of the MLS head gaskets on a JZ, these are actually, the whole thing is steel. There is a very thick chunk of steel in the middle, and it's surrounded by other chunks of steel. And yeah, so we completely melted that, and then we blew out the cylinder head. So after all that situation, all the bad crap that we just did here, car is back, and it has been it's been about a month. We've been out here doing nothing for like a month. Also, as you guys can see, the bay is empty, and let me tell you about how much that car pissed me off. We're gonna wait. I will make a video explaining that. It's gonna be a little bit of a rant, but yeah, we're gonna have something else coming that's gonna replace the Evo, and man, screw that car. You guys are gonna see it being parted out here soon. But this car's back. I set up the safeties so that way there was a fuel pressure delta that the ECU. So here is the acceleration. This is the pull that I did during the race with the ZX14. As you can see right here, the red is the map pressure, the blue is the RPM. You guys can see right here on both sides, they indicate the color. So right down here we got fuel pressure delta, you got fuel pressure, RPM, map, ignition angle, etc. Do not copy my ignition angle unless you want your car to blow up. Every single car is different, so please do not be investigating to try to copy my stuff. You do not want to do that. So, as we can see here, as we're accelerating, right? So we're cooking, and just for, if you guys are unaware, the ECU master, it bases the base pressure off of atmospheric pressure, so it will not be reading in vacuum. So right here, car off, because the car died. We're at 14.6, that is base pressure, and you will actually subtract that number from the maximum that you see. So right here, we're about 48, so subtract 14, we peaked out right here at 51, so subtract 14, and it's kind of a lot. It's like 39, I believe. Pretty close to 40 pounds of boost. Regardless, so as we're accelerating, you guys can see the purple is moving up. That is fuel pressure moving up with boost, as it should. 1 psi per 1 psi. You got a boost pressure pressing on the top of the diaphragm on the fuel pressure regulator. And as we crest up here, we get up to about 26 pounds of boost, and you guys can see that the fuel pressure begins to die off as we're accelerating. And about this point in the car, I could hear the car start to break up, but we're accelerating so quickly. This happens all within like nothing. Here at the bottom, you can see that this is a second indicator. So this was all within probably a half a second. So it started breaking up. Fuel pressure falls, continues to fall. We drop down to under 50, actually. Dang near, yep, 50. We drop down under 50. 46, and that's below my base pressure even. So this is right about where it blew up, right here. And then I let off. We started decelling, only because my transmission wasn't going to unlock, and then my transmission unlocked down here and that died. The brown is the fuel pressure delta. Fuel pressure delta is actually the pressure that is between map and it's map pressure and fuel pressure, so it's the difference. So what you want is a constant difference. What you don't want is this kind of difference, where we have a 19 psi difference between fuel pressure and map pressure. That means there's not enough fuel pressure whatsoever. As you guys can see right here, we're maintaining a 61, and then as we're accelerating, fuel pressure is trying to go up, but then it begins to fall off. When the car dies, we regain our 60. Here we go, we've got a much better viewing. So this is the same pool at 100% throttle. You guys can see 100%, and fuel pressure just straight falls off, meaning we lost a fuel pump, which is no bueno. We do have a new fuel pump. We have 2 new fuel pumps that we're going to be putting on the car. But yeah, so there we go, guys. Car's back up and running, and this is the reason why it broke. We got safety set up now, so we will ignition cut if the fuel pressure delta reaches a high or low level. But there we go. We're back. Let's go. Well, since she's all back up and going, we're going to have to get out there and get some stuff situated. The car is going to have to be retuned for the cylinder head, of course, and then we're also going to have to figure out how to get the car up on the trans brake. I got to tune in some stuff to make it work, but we're going to be shooting for that 3-second pass, and then also getting the car up on the trans brake to try to get it ready for actual racing. So we're going to take the car back out to the track. But yeah, stay tuned for all that stuff, and well, I hope you guys enjoyed the absolute gap ties and also the straight explosion. So welcome back, 240. It's been way too long, freaking literally almost a month in between these scenes, basically. But there it is, guys. Drop a like, leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.